So the Chicago Sky are furious. They are furious about their team for making what is an extremely smart trade. The Chicago Sky have traded for a plug-and-play all-star. By plug-and-play, I mean she can defend. You just put her into a team and she makes it better. She was who, if the Fever, I've made so many videos. By the way, I'm not going to switch up just because it is the Sky. Just because it's the Sky, I'm not going to switch up. Because I was making videos out here saying, and people were like, oh, you're just glazing the Sky. I was making so many videos about Ariel Atkins to the Fever. There are so many videos I've talked about it. And I'm like, if Kelsey Mitchell wants to leave, find a way to get Ariel Atkins. Just do whatever you can to get Ariel Atkins to the team. That was my logic. If Kelsey Mitchell was going to do whatever you can to get Ariel Atkins there. And now, the Chicago Sky have got her. The Chicago Sky are way better having Ariel Atkins than not having Ariel Atkins. She is that level of player. But obviously, the fans don't care. Whoever made this decision should be fired. I love Ariel Atkins, but we gave up too much. What? Do you think you are going to get an all-star for the 10th pick? What? That's the logic. Do you think you're going to get her for the 10th pick? One first and 1 second, exactly. In a draft where, I'm going to be honest, nobody knows who's going 3 to 15. I've seen mock drafts. If you look at, Quita Love Sports mock draft, I think she didn't have Georgia Amore in her first round draft 6 weeks ago. Now has her third. And then she had Cheyenne Sellers going third not even 6 weeks ago, a month ago, had Cheyenne Sellers going third. Now not even the first round. Kiki Iriafen is playing her way out of the first round. AZ Fudd was projected to be a second round pick 2 weeks ago, and now she's being mocked at 3 sometimes. Georgia Amore was predicted to be a second round pick on some mocks, 3 in others. It is literally a draft where 3 to 20 seems to be interchangeable. I'm blank. I'm terrible on names. Year 1 from NC State today. Isaiah James, that's her name. She's someone who, again, I've seen mocked as second round. I've seen Isaiah James mocked in the 3rd round, and I've seen Isaiah James mocked as high as 6. I've seen Sonia Citron mocked anywhere from 11 to 3. If she's not mocked at 3 in a mock draft, I've seen her go as low as 11. I've seen Aisha Sivka get mocked from 3 to the 3rd round. It is mental. This is a draft. People are like, this is a 2-person draft. And 3 if you count Dominique Malonga. The only people that are guaranteed to be picked in the first round in this draft are Dominique Malonga, Paige Beckers, and Olivia Miles. Anyone else can fall. Literally anyone else can fall. The Chicago Sky have the 10th pick. Let's just say, I've always made this hypothetical. The Chicago Sky, if their first choice is another player that's been mocked at 3 a lot, Tahina Paupau. Tahina Paupau is going to be there at 10. If they want her there, she's there at 10. And the Chicago Sky want purely, they don't need 3 and no D players because they have Rachel Banham for that. If they want Georgia Amore, she's probably going to be there at 10. And people are like, oh, she might go to Liberty at 6. Okay, if she goes to Liberty at 6, take Cheyenne Sellers. Just take Cheyenne Sellers. I don't care. You're getting probably the better point guard in Cheyenne Sellers, who might fit more of your defense, long wing, modern offense, Tyler Marsh type system, instead of a 5'6" point guard. If not, maybe you can get, if you want Georgia Amore, she's going to be there at 10. There are so many players in this draft. The only players, again, I don't know. Kiki Iriafen might be there at 10, if you want to bring her off the bench. Whoever you want at 3 is possibly going to be there at 10. There's going to be crazy upswings in this draft. This is a draft where it's anything can happen. Literally anything. And again, a case in point, so many, AZ Fudd 3 weeks ago was being mocked in the 2nd round. She's now being mocked at 3 quite a bit. Same with Georgia Amore. I'm sorry, if 3 years of Ariel Atkins, and you might be saying, what, she's an unrestricted free agent next year? Yeah, just core, she's going to be cored 2 years in a row. They might get rid of the core rule, but they're not going to get rid of it on the spot. And there's going to be some form of rule. There's going to be some form of rule in there. Maybe not exactly coring, but I don't know. Maybe they'll remove, coring's not going to be gone entirely. Maybe it'll be done from 2 core years to 1 core year. You can have 1 single core year. Maybe that's something they're going to do, because teams are not going to fully, it's going to have to be some give and take with the core. The players don't want it. There might be 1 year of core. And it's 2 years of an all-star. 2 years of a plug-and-play all-star. In year 1, you don't have your draft pick. In year 2, you, don't have... You have a pick swap with Washington. And people are like, oh, but like that's such a big thing. The Mystics are tanking. You're not going to have a lottery pick in 2027. Let's be honest. The Sky are not going to have a 2027 lottery pick. They're not going to. It doesn't matter. Mystics are guaranteed a lottery pick. You're not getting a lottery pick. This pick swap is the most irrelevant thing. This pick swap is only there in case everyone leaves in 2026. You don't core Ariel Atkins and Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso get injured in the same season. That's literally it. Why? For 4 years of, I like Sonia Citron. I've always said this. Sonia Citron could be the 4th or 5th best player on a great team. For best case scenario, someone who's the 3rd best player on her college team. Best case scenario. Then, if you want someone to just go in and get you a bucket, like an Isaiah James, she's probably there at 10. There are buckets at 10. There are point guards at 10. There's no good bigs in this draft. There are wings at 10. There are 3-and-D players at 10. There are spot-up shooters like Pau Pau and Neepkins there at 10. Everyone that's going to be there at 3 could be available at 10. So that's the thing with this year's draft. These high picks, and people are like, the LA Sparks, they gave up Olivia Moss the 2 pick. What if they don't believe in Olivia Moss? What if they're like, well, as much good as she is at passing, she is a cone on defense. She gets burned every single time. We want Cheyenne Sellers. Cheyenne Sellers is our first choice as a point guard. We think that playing beside, because Kelsey Plum can kind of handle the ball. You've got shooters everywhere. This modern rim attacking, defending point guard who can shoot a little bit in a Cheyenne Sellers. And if we lose Cheyenne Sellers, maybe we gain in the athleticism, the passing, the defense, but a little bit worse in shooting. Maybe we can figure out if Sanaya Rivers how to shoot the ball. Sanaya Rivers, you can come in as our point guard of the future. We don't care about number 2 because we got Kelsey Plum as well. Like, they got 9 in that trade, so it's not the end of the world. Welcome, Ariel. Disappointed they're not getting the 3rd pick. Draft picks sound so better. They sound so much better before the draft. So, like, Alicia Gray was an all-star. She's an all-star. When she played for the Wings, she got traded to the Atlanta Dream. And the Atlanta Dream, to get an all-star, gave up the 4th pick. And maybe their fans are going crazy about the 4th pick because, oh my God, Lou Lopez-Seneschal's cooking in UConn. And I wish Lou Lopez-Seneschal was good. I've watched Lou Lopez-Seneschal play since she was 17. She played literally for Colester Basketball Club in Ireland. I was friends with her entire team. I used to go to watch her team play when she was in Ireland. Like, I've been watching Lou since she was 17. Like, down the road, I used to watch her team play in freaking local league games occasionally because I was friends with her whole team. I would want nothing more than for Lou to succeed. But they gave up Alicia Gray for a pick that ended up being Stephanie Suarez. But let's look at who was drafted in the 2023 WNBA draft. And for everyone saying, it was the 2025 draft is much better. Ironically, no. Like, the 2023 WNBA draft had as much hype. It had as much hype as 2025. The difference is that the 2025 has so many similar level players, which is why 3 through 20, as I've said, somebody who is mocked in the 20s right now might go as far as top 5. That's the crazy thing. But in that draft, after pick number 4 was traded for Alicia Gray, Stephanie Suarez, is already out of the league. Then it goes Lou Lopez-Seneschal, Haley Jones, Grace Berger, Letitia Amaher, Jordan Horston, Zaya Cook, Abby Myers, someone from France. So you're looking at it. I'm looking through the entire draft. I'm not joking when I say this. In a redraft, Dorka Juhas goes 3. This is a draft where the best case scenario at number 4 for Alicia Gray, and this is if, let's just say a redraft. The best player, by the way, taken after Aaliyah Boston in this draft, Maddie Siegrist, who was taken by them, the Dallas Wings, who were in it, so that doesn't really matter. The best player they could have gotten from that Alicia Gray trade was Dorka Juhas. All-star, Dorka Juhas. So hindsight's always 2020. The Sky could have Sonia Citron could come in and be solid, but Isaiah James could come in and be an absolute bucket. She could be a bucket, or you could go and take a bucket like Isaiah James at 3, and it just doesn't work out, and somehow the player that ends up being the best as they go on is Neepkins, who gets into a good situation and just starts lighting it up from three. The draft is a crapshoot. Ariel Atkins is an all-star. She's an all-star. This is an obvious trade. And the fact that Sky fans are furious makes absolutely no sense because this is an incredible trade. You've got 3 years of an all-star in a draft where no one knows who's going number 3. You're not sure who's going number 3. And right now, someone who's the third best player on their college team is going 3 because why? They fit in and they're a good glue player. You can find glue players. You can find glue players on the cheap if you scout well. You can find glue players in the second round if you scout well. You don't need to waste it there. As much as I love Sonia Citron, I think if she falls to the Liberty, dear Lord, what the hell is going to happen to the Liberty? But you don't need to use the third pick on a glue player. That's always my argument. I was like, as good as Citron is, I'm like, do you use the third pick on a glue player? No, you literally get an all-star with it. And people are going mad. Madness. This is people who have not been watching that much basketball and looking mostly at the college basketball this year, and they're overrating players playing against college players. No one's doing what Caitlin's doing. No, like, people are literally saying Olivia Miles is doing what Caitlin's doing. She is literally averaging half the points of Caitlin Clark and less assists than Caitlin Clark. Madness.